Hey guys, it's Drew again. Recently, I heard about a baseball game I had never come across before, and whether you've heard the tale or not, I really felt it was worth repeating. So let's check it out. Being a baseball fan is rooted in the fact that I love history, U.S. history. The fact that U.S. history and baseball sort of always go hand in hand throughout time, from the beginnings of it and the development and the growing pains of it through integration and so many other things. And I've always loved that. So being part of that, I really enjoy United States history. And there's a podcast that I got into about a year ago, and it's called History That Doesn't Suck. And it's really about United States history from pre-Revolutionary War. And every episode, Professor Greg Jackson takes us through another segment in time, and it's been a great experience. I've learned a lot about U.S. history. Well, as I was listening to this a while ago, he was getting up into the 1920s and he started talking about Negro League baseball. Now, this is not a sports podcast by any means, but he did do an episode on the Negro Leagues and 1920s baseball and where it coincided with the rest of the United States. And there was a little snippet in there that I had never heard a story about. This story that happened back in 1925. And I thought this is something that was just so unbelievable to me that I felt that I would share it. And I looked at it and I researched it and I thought, you know what? Instead of me trying to reinvent the wheel, what I've done is I just took the snippet from that podcast and I'm just going to drop it in here. I'm going to let you guys listen to it, see what you think, and then we'll come back. So let's go ahead.
It's June 21st, 1925. We're at the Wichita Monrovians all-wooden-built stadium located on an island, a sandbar really, located in a stretch of the Arkansas River as it passes through Wichita, Kansas. Yes, it's a rare situation, a Negro team that has its own ballpark, and today is unique too. As the fans make their way in, filling the 5,000-seat stadium, officials carefully search the spectators' bags and pockets. According to the Wichita Beacon's later coverage, security is checking for, quote, stranglebolds, razors, horsewhips, and other violent implements of argument, close quote. This isn't a usual practice, but then again, this isn't a usual game. Today, the all-black ball players of the Monrovians are playing the semi-pro ball club Klan Number 6, as in the Klu Klux Klan. And crazy as that sounds, both teams' fans are all about it. In no time at all, the game gets underway. W.W. Irish Garrity and Dan Dwyer are umping, and were specifically selected because they're white and Catholic. If that sounds strange, let me remind you that, as we learned in episode 152, this renewed 20th century Klan's hate list includes Catholics. In fact, the clash between the Klan and Catholic students from Notre Dame that I told you about in that episode was just last year. All that to say, the thinking is that, as two white Catholics clearly not attached to either group, Irish and Dan are the most neutral umpires one could get for this matchup. And by the way, all the batting is happening with bats, not crosses. Yeah, that's a special rule specifically made for this game. Anyone who walks up attempting to bat with a cross will be thrown out. No exceptions. The game opens with a pitcher's duel. That is, little scoring and excellent pitching, which gives way to far more runs in the later innings. Sadly, those are about all the details we have for the game, but the fans enjoy it, and the fact that we don't have a violent story tells us that things must have stayed peaceful. The Monrovians beat the Klan 10-8. Undoubtedly, these blackball players must be ecstatic. As for the Klan Number 6, I have to imagine there were some dour faces the next time they met at their local claver. I like to think that perhaps a little soul-searching happened, perhaps some questioning about racial narratives and hatreds, but again, no records.
Now, I don't know if you've heard that story before. I know I never have, and I'm over 50 years old, but when I heard that, it just reminded me of the struggle and the pains of it, the whole thing of segregation and what the Negro Leagues players went through. And we're not talking about the big players of Satchel Paige and Josh Gibson, although they had their share of struggles. You're talking about a small little team out in Wichita, Kansas, that's just trying to get a few dollars and make some kind of a living playing semi-pro ball that they will take on the KKK in this matter. And to me, I was just blown away with so many of the different aspects of this. So I don't know. As far as me and what I feel, the reason that I look back and I learn about history is so that we can try not to repeat some of the atrocities that happened in the past. I hope you've enjoyed this. I know it's kind of a different video. I don't have anything new to show or share, but I felt that this was an important enough story, at least interesting enough to be able to tell it to you guys. So check out History That Doesn't Suck. It's really an interesting podcast. It's a lot of fun. I've learned a ton going through the history of the United States and just different things. But I appreciate you guys as always. Until next time, you guys be good.